Well, it turns out CM Punk is an alien. An insectoid alien. So it's an insectoid ghost in a body. I. Here's what happened. I suspected CM Punk of being a ghost or an alien. And here's why. First of all, the first red flag was his departure from the WWE. Because it's just in time to get settled for the current, I really don't want to say it because I got a letter from the police yesterday, as a matter of fact. I got a letter from Google saying that the police subpoenaed my search query from my GooTube channel. So everything I ever searched for in the query was subpoenaed yesterday. YouTube sent me a letter about that yesterday. So CM Punk departed because he knew the upheaval from ISIS is about to happen in America. So that's the real reason why he left the WWE. The next thing that made me suspect that he's an alien is that, and this is very, very crucial right here, he's in his podcast with Colt Cabana, he said that he will not allow himself to be defined by his job. There's only two people in this world outside of CM Punk that I've heard say that or have that same thought, which was me, Dragon King God Gutu, and Alan Watt of CuttingThroughTheMatrix.com, not to be confused with Alan Watts, the philosopher. Think about that. CM Punk, myself, and Alan Watt have said that. This is what I was talking about yesterday. The profane, for the longest time, did not define themselves through their job. However, these days, if you go up to one and ask them about themselves, usually the first thing they'll start talking about is what they do for a living. That's not normal. That is diametrically far from normal. People do not do that. Only specially bred sheep slaves do that. I can't emphasize enough how important it is that you understand that real people do not define themselves through their job. Here's the next red flag. He's got a comic book deal from Marvel. They're going to allow him to write a comic book. You have to be a master occultist to work for Marvel and write fucking comic books. I really hope you guys are seeing the connection here. He leaves WWE just in time to get settled right before all this upheaval happens in America. And then he says that he doesn't define himself through his job. And then he gets a job working for Marvel. And Marvel only hires master occultists to write comic books. And then he goes to UFC, which, of course, the Fertittas, I know for a fact the Fertittas are aliens, but I don't know about Dana White. And when you saw him wearing a suit, it was an all-black suit. Because, all the See, here's what I suspect. I don't know this for sure, but I suspect that my aura is sensitive. I always wear white. I am human. I have a soul. But the jinn, they always wear black. Like 13th sign astrology was like saying how wearing all black protects him from negativity and negative entities. So I have a feeling that the jinn wear all black and the humans wear white. So if the jinn want to protect themselves from entities, they wear all black. If the humans want to do it, they wear all white. So I think that's, I'm pretty sure that is the deal. That's just a theory, but it's a pretty good one. I mean, like in the Jay-Z song, where he's like, all black everything, black cars, black clothes. That's okay. In the song, Who's Going to Run This Town Tonight with Rihanna, he's like, all black cars, black everything, black clothes. And he also, and that's the same song where he says, I'm in, Mason, fuck the other side, they jealous. They got a table full of fellas, we got a table full of broads. Or we got a table full of broads, they got a table full of fellows. Oh, they ain't got no cake, we gotta throw his hand, we got no weight. I'll tell you who's gonna run this town tonight. That's right, you guessed it. Dragon King God Yusu. Fucking A. Oh. If only. If only. Another thing I want to say is that inside every lack man, there's a Moor trying to get out. Now let's talk about some wrestling. I don't know why I feel the urge to put the camera closer to my face. Okay, yeah, we definitely have to talk about wrestling. Let's pretend that I don't know anything, right? Let's pretend that CM Punk's story is true. I feel bad for mixed martial artists because they're like the only sport that gets disrespected by people who think they can fight. It's like, oh, I played baseball when I was like 12. I'm gonna go fucking play baseball professionally. It doesn't work like that. And especially since CM Punk's a 35-year-old man. And Dana White is probably an alien because for those keeping score at home, he had some surgery in Europe that is a surgery where only highly select people have had the surgery, including the Pope and Derek Jeter. So there was some surgery where you have to get like a recommendation from somebody else that's had the surgery. Like, in other words, you have to get approval from either like Derek Jeter or the Pope to have the surgery. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, damn, that guy must be an alien. And Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins is an alien. I mean, he has a song called 33 and a song called Lily. And he's a wrestling promoter too. Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins is a wrestling promoter. I weep for the death of WCW. I weep for the death. Okay, most people have like a television show or a football team or a sports team that gives them some serotonin, gives them a reason to hold on. I don't have that. I used to have that. Now I don't, because wrestling is totally fucking dead. Oh, by the way, if you saw the podcast between Ice Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, that podcast is the perfect example of how when a human tries to hold the reptilian alien's feet to the fire, the reptilian alien will always try to like rebound with a high frequency. For example, Stone Cold was like pressing Vince, and Vince was like trying to divert the conversation to, hey, remember back when people would come to the pool and I would push them in the pool and ha 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 ha, it was so funny when we see. He tries to divert back. See, that's what reptilian aliens do, because they're trained in oratory and how to divert your anger. So they try to bring it back to, you know, a high frequency, like ha 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 ha. Of course, I wasn't buying it, and I'm never buying it. See, their Jedi mind tricks only work on the weak. Shit will never work on me. Ever. Not without my magic sunglasses. And to that fat boy, if it all fails, dude, you're so lazy on your video editing. You had like a picture run for like a minute on that video you made of me. You're fucking lazy, dude. I can tell you're fat and lazy just by watching that video you made of me. It's like you let a picture run for like a whole minute in the video. That's just sheer fucking laziness. You couldn't find anything to like fill the void. It's just sheer fucking laziness, and it won't be tolerated. And I am the joke. So for you to like steal my thunder just says that you have nothing. You have to like copy what you have to like put me in the video. I wouldn't be mad at you if it wasn't a piece of crap. You let a whole fucking minute just with my face completely frozen on the video. That's just laziness. That's like if on my rough drafts of that Jay Essex video, that was like a rough draft video. That's crap that won't pass. You wonder why barely anyone subscribed to you. Furthermore, somebody please fucking bring Vince McMahon to Freemason court for ruining wrestling. And you know why wrestling is so much better than, or was better than every sport? Because wrestling has one element to it that the other sports don't. It has lulziness. And lulziness is not to be confused with comedy. Because comedy and lulziness are two different things. Comedy was intentional. Lulziness is when something was meant to be taken seriously, but it wound up being lulzy instead. And I thought about this for the longest time, and that's why wrestling is so great, is because it has a lulziness to it. That's the only reason. The other sports don't have that. Football does not have that. And wrestling was like one of the one things in my life that gave me serotonin, and goddamn Vince McMahon for fucking ruining the shit out of it. And a lot of people say that Benoit was the death of That's another thing I wanted to mention. Benoit. There's two people who I suspect of being an alien, judging by what they've said about the Benoit murder, homicide, suicide, genocide, is that Matt Stryker and Billy Jack Haynes have both said, well, okay, Matt Stryker said that he doesn't believe the official story, that he still questions it, and that his position is that he says, oh, I wasn't there, so I really don't I really can't speak to it because I wasn't there, which tells me that he knows more, that there's something more to it, more behind it. As a matter of fact, Ptah, yes, that's right, Ptah, the reptilian alien entity, Jinn, that is my mentor. No, he's my protege. Ptah, my protege, told me that Chris Benoit was warned not to do it. And then you couple that with what Billy Jack Haynes said, which was the only reason why he killed his wife and his autistic son Daniel was because Daniel was really Vince McMahon's child. And he said that with a straight face in all sincerity. So I really don't think Billy Jack Haynes is lying. I think Matt Stryker is also an alien that knows something. And I noticed that I see a lot of I see a lot of myself in Matt Stryker and CM Punk, so that tells me that Matt Stryker is probably an alien too. Because the way Matt Stryker teaches people was like the way I used to talk back in the day, like 2011. And so it's like really, I can see all these factors adding up, and I'm so pissed at myself for not asking Ptah about the Benoit thing in its entirety. And Eddie Guerrero was a Illuminati sacrifice because he was killed November 13th. They say it was, overdose on drugs. Bullshit. Also, Macho Man Randy Sausage fucking snapped into a palm tree and he died at 85-13. And Macho Man is MM. And Marilyn Manson, I was at his website, he's got the cross thing. He's got the fucking, the cross thing that the Masonic elders have on their head. I'll show you right now. And the MM always means something, like Marilyn Monroe, she was Lily. So the MM in Macho Man must mean that he was like one of the first Adams, or he must be like a prince or a king of whatever alien type that he is. Oh, and I just got confirmation from my friend that Alan Watt is a Naga serpent. And so if your name is MM, it has to be like there's something to it, because it's a 33, obviously. And I remember when I was talking to Ptah, and he was saying that, Eminem, not Eminem, but Marilyn Manson was sincere about his atheism. Well, he was saying that, he's not a Freemason, but look at that. That's the fucking symbol the Masonic elders have on their hat. So Fred's gonna try to sit there and tell me that Marilyn Manson is sincere about his atheism? Bullshit. He's got the Mason shit right there, man. He got, oh hell yeah. Oh, let's get it while it's still there, baby. While it's still fucking there. So Eminem, MM, he's the computer. Marilyn Manson, who is he? I don't know. Macho Man, gotta be someone. Marilyn Monroe was Lily. These are questions Jay Essex should be answering, but he can't because he's a fill in the blank.